Oppenheimer's back. I'ma say it. I mean, you saw the trailer. She straight up drops a mushroom cloud of a nuke and bangs a gong after it. But that's not all there is to Guinaifen. She ain't all about just exploding things and trying to be a funny streamer. Something we all fail to do. Follow my Twitch channel. Some would say I'm desperate. I would just say I'm optimistic. But Guinaifen's kit actually is kind of interesting to say the least. Like, I get she is a 4-star, so a lot of people are kind of looking over her because you really only save for the 5 stars in the game, not so much 4 stars. Unless you're incredibly based. But I'm gonna give you a couple reasons to why, even if you're not going for Topaz, you should probably still pull for Guinaifen because she does unlock a lot of team compositions. A lot of different ways to play the game. More variety equals more fun, and with more fun, you will play the game for longer. No, I am not a Hoyoverse informant. I am just a gacha addict. If you do like this video in any way, shape, or form, please like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know if you're pulling for Guinaifen, or if you're going to skip her, or if you just outright don't care for 1.4 in the slightest. You'd be crazy to think that, but hey, you do you. But without further ado, let's talk about Guinaifen's kit, and I'll give you the breakdown of what we saw in the live stream. So Guinaifen's basic attack is called Standing Ovation, and it has a chance of inflicting burn. Pretty basic stuff. It doesn't really, I'm assuming it probably does at level 5, 100% of her base attack. We don't have numbers, live streams don't give us that. If you're a dream slash leaker, you'd probably know, but hey, I'll wait for the official releases to find that stuff out. And inflicting burn, I get she is DOT, but inflicting burn does actually kind of contribute to the whole team if you're not building a Nihility team, and I'll explain why in a moment. But we'll move on to her skill first of all. And her skill is called Blazing Welcome. What Blazing Welcome does is it launches firecrackers that deal fire damage to the enemy, and it is a single target attack. However, it does hit adjacent enemies on the side as well. So middle, left, right, at most 3 enemies. I'm pretty sure that's at E0 because that's what was in the live stream, but they've been known to change stuff like that every now and then here and there. So at least I'm pretty confident that's going to be her E0 at release. But this has the chance of inflicting burn as well. And that kind of segues me into Guinaifen's talent, because Guinaifen's talent is kind of the whole point of her kit. The thing that makes her different from everyone else. The talent is called Patreon benefits. I'm not kidding. It's legitimately called Patreon benefits. Yeah, they're kind of funny over here. But when Guinaifen is on the battlefield, enemies who take burn damage have a chance of entering something called the Fire Kiss state. What Fire Kiss is a damage amplifier for enemies afflicted to it. Fire Kiss increases damage received by enemies by 7%. But you might think, oh, it's only 7%. That's such a low number. It's stackable. You can build that up. I don't know if there's a cap to the stack or anything like that, but they did show in the video on the live stream it was 21%, so at least 3 stacks. You damage per screenshot people? Like me. We're gonna have fun with this. But seriously, Fire Kiss, like, if you want to run mono fire, this could genuinely pop off. Like, you got a quad fire setup, or at least 3 fire, 1 healer, or something like that. Most fire characters inflict burn, so every cycle, pretty much everyone's got a chance of receiving Fire Kiss, and if you get lucky, they're gonna receive it 3, 4, 5, 6 times. Granted, they did say in the video it lasts for a set amount of turns. I don't remember them saying how many turns it is. Usually for stuff like this, it's 2 or 3, so you'd have to get somewhat lucky to really stack it. But hey, it is what it is. Nonetheless, Fire Kiss is kind of a great skill. Okay, now the ult. The ult is where the I am become death comes in, okay? This is where the Oppenheimer kind of shows. So the ult is called Watch This Showstopper, and it releases the hounds. It gets the dogs out, okay? And deals fire damage to all enemies. And if a target is already afflicted with burn damage, they receive additional damage. That's not Fire Kiss, that's just the ult. So that on top of the ult, on top of Fire Kiss stacks, you could make a decent case for a DPS Guinaifen, not a Nihility Guinaifen. Kind of like crit damage Kafka. She actually pops off much more than people really think she does. Or at least think she did when she first came out, saying it was a dumb build. I feel like you could make a genuine argument for a DPS Guinaifen. But we'll have to wait till she comes out. I like to build goofy stuff. If you want to see how that goes, like the video and I'll make a DPS guide for Guinaifen if that's what you really want to see. And last but not least, from her kit, we have her technique. It was called Skill Showcase, and they didn't tell you what it did. But in the video, it kind of does show you. What happens with Guinaifen is she lobs a firecracker at the enemy, and as soon as the fight starts, the enemies will be hit, I'm guessing 4 times, seemingly at random, kind of like Asta's skill, how you can rain down fire strikes, but they are at total random. They can hit anyone, any place, anywhere, not so much the character that you are aiming at unless you get really lucky. They honestly said nothing. They said less than nothing about her showcase. About her technique in the showcase, sorry. But that's what it looked like. It hits enemies 4 times, seemingly at random, and I'm guessing there's probably like a Fire Kiss stack in there too that you'll enter the fight with, because hitting them just a couple times seems like a really weird buff to just kind of give in a technique. It's got to be a little bit more than that. At least in my books, and my books are gospel, you know what I mean? I am the penultimate build everyone DPS, so I know how the damage works in this game. So I'm guessing she probably would have Fire Kiss stacks in there too. If I'm wrong, I'll eat my hat. But if we want to talk about team comps, that's kind of where things do change. So Mono Nihility, obviously a decent option. That straight up enables her to just DOT stack, Fire Kiss, basic DOT stuff. You would run her, Kafka, I don't want to say that shampoo guy's name. We hate that guy. Hella, Silverwolf. Am I missing anyone else? Off the top of my head, Luca as well. You could run teams with that variant and you could have some really good success. I want to try a mono fire purely because of the Fire Kiss stacks, because that could really pan out in a really good way. So the team I will probably run if I do get lucky is Himeko, Guinaifen, Topaz. I don't have Hook built, and I don't have Fire MC built. Am I missing another fire character? Asta, that's who I'm missing, is Asta. But you can make some really unique teams with that, and depending on what the base chance of afflicting Fire Kiss is, could genuinely really be an interesting kind of build. It definitely wouldn't be the best build there is, but it would be fun nonetheless. If you meta slave away, you're going to bend yourself out in this game quicker than you could ever possibly imagine. You could even have a team that builds towards it. So like a Silverwolf, Hella, with your Guinaifen, which is damage amplification on top of the defense shredding, and then a core DPS like you would imagine Emitter de Lune or Zilla, whatever it may be, whatever you really have. But hey, this is all just theory crafting at this point. I'm not a theory crafter. I don't really want to go too deep into numbers because that becomes the most toxic, stupid argument ever. And let's be real, who actually cares that much about it? It's a goddamn gacha game. We're all as addicted as each other. There's no need to really go into the weeds of this character does 6% more damage with this certain build than that build. One build's not inherently better than the other. In fact, pulling for a single character in the game, you can beat MOC 10 and Swarm 5. There are plenty of videos on people showing that is possible. So don't be that guy is all I'm trying to say. But yeah, if you did enjoy the video, please like, comment, and subscribe. And if you want to see DPS Guinaifen build, or if there's anything you really want to see in general, leave it in the comments below. I've been Max. I'm not going to take any more time up out of your day. I'm gonna head out. See ya.